Alright. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Go. Go.
Go. We're live.
We're live.
We're doing it.
It's on. Game on. Too long. Oh my god. God, Jeanette was on vacation. Gallivanting.
Oh no, I think that was you.
Yeah.
I think it's been adventurous 2 weeks, maybe. Yes.
It's been an adventurous time.
Adventurous time.
Month. It's been getting crazy. I don't know.
Crazy.
Life's been just a little bit crazy. You know what I mean? But anyways, and we're back.
Yes.
And we're live.
Dude.
What?
I know. It's been like
forever.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
I know. We really are doing this bi-weekly.
Yeah. Then I had all sorts of issues editing the video. There was a couple of sound issues, which I think I fixed. Still haven't gotten the mics. If we had the mics, we would have figured out the sound issues earlier.
That's
so much going on.
That's such a pain in the butt, considering that I know I have a headset at home. I keep forgetting.
We're gonna get headsets. We're gonna grow up and get headsets. We're gonna be big kids one day. You know.
I hope so.
Okay, so we're back. Thank goodness. It's been a good 2 weeks. Thanks for joining us again. It's been good. It's been good. It's been going really good. Oh, my mouse is dead.
Oh, maybe is that a good or a bad thing? We're gonna mess up about it.
I don't know. It's okay. I'll use that little thing here. But yeah, a lot's gone on the last 2 weeks, dude. Yeah, it's been a lot's been going on. I think we have a lot to touch base on. We have all sorts of topics to talk about. I feel like we've been. I even have little notes on the little sticky pad, getting like half organized. Well, let's start.
Half organized.
And it's funny because I was talking to my friend Levi. He's going to be on next week, and he says, okay, so you guys talk about like motivational things, blah blah blah, this and that, and and you guys talk about alcohol. It's like, no. We talk about feel good things, motivation, leadership, but we're friends having a conversation. And what did I say over? What was the word I used on it? I don't know. Over drinks.
I think that you probably said something that was super classy, and I was like,
yeah.
I don't know. I may have
sophisticated. I said sophisticated drinks, and
I may have like made it a not so classy.
Yeah, you keep on coming in with your bargain deals from the gas station, Jeanette. Class it up, Jeanette. Class it up. Okay, what do you got today? What are you doing today?
Well, I've been doing clear sodas with vodka, so I wanted to change it up just slightly and do a Sky Cherry Vodka.
Sky Cherry Vodka.
With Diet Coke. Yes.
How girly.
I know, it really is girly.
Dude, you're getting all girled out on me.
I know, totally.
Oh, man. Who is this, Jeanette? And what did you do with my friend?
I do need to up my game, though, and actually do like a cocktail.
Get like something sophisticated, like a Grey Goose vodka.
Yes.
Oh, maybe that's what I'm dressed in next time. I'll get a Grey Goose.
Maybe a cocktail would be in order. Just like a cocktail. What the hell?
Right.
We'll even say what it is and the ingredients and everything. And
oh my.
Yeah.
It's going to be like a cooking show for alcoholics.
Right. Stir, swirl.
Move out of the way, Rachel Ray. Here comes Jeanette. Bam.
Dude, yes. I think that's awesome.
I was excited about this because I was I found a tequila that had a cool label. I was like, ooh, cool label tequila. Yeah. But then I was looking at the scotches, and I saw this Copper Dog. I'm a dog guy, obviously, so I have to get it. So I have to read what it said. And I liked the way that they described scotches. And I don't know, it says, in years long past, distillery workers would help themselves to a drink using a copper dog, a pipe hidden inside the leg of their trousers. These spy-eyed rascals, oh my, it sounds good already, I like it. And characters are the inspiration for this unique blend of no fewer than 8 single malt whiskeys slowly married together.
Wow.
Slowly married together in old oak casks, an easy drinking scotch with ripe fruit aromas and a delicate spicy finish. First created in the Craigellach Hotel. I like that it says spide-eyed rascals. I feel like a spide-eyed rascal.
Oh my god, it speaks your language.
It does. Copper Dog. I want to try this. It just looks good. And if it's horrible, I'm going to be real. If it is horrible, I won't be disappointed because, it's for spide-eyed rascals.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Spide-Eye's
It was another bargain Scotch too. It was about $30 because I loved Pig Nose so much. I almost got it, but this was right. Matter of fact, this was right next to Pig's Nose.
Oh.
So I was like,
decided to try something.
You know, they're neighbors. They have to be good, right?
Well, I don't know. I'm kind
of excited about this.
I'm kind of curious to see how this is going to go down.
Ooh, it smells like Scotch. I'm already enthralled. It smells like Scotch.
Yeah, my mouth is watering.
It's like
it's already. I know it's Scotch.
It tingles when it hits your lips. I love that wine. What is there not to love about Old School?
Old School, I love that.
It tingles when it hits your lips. It's so good.
So good when
it
touches your lips.
So, you know, I'm just put this right here. But I performed operation on Mr. Kahuna guy.
Oh, he looks good, like
Jeanette,
brand new.
His foot's a little bit gimpy there. But,
it builds character.
Quit destroying things. The last time we moved the table around, and Jeanette started throwing things. She's out of control, and I hate this, Mark. And she threw her bottle on the ground, broke her cup. It was disastrous. So yeah, so we're good. We got our drinks. Mr. Kahuna guy's back. The dog still needs some work, but I think we're all set, dude.
Yeah, I think so too.
Cheers to another episode, guys. Cheers.
Episode 9. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. I like that. It's not too strong. It's really nice. Wow. Tastes like Scotch. Tastes like a delicious $30 Scotch. Gonna try?
Sure. You know what? I've never tried your Scotch.
Dude, and then I got my ice balls in there. You know, it's not too strong.
It's not what you know.
It's like a nice everyday Scotch.
You know, people, you've just witnessed me having my first drink of Scotch.
Copper Dog, if you need somebody to the sponsor to really get your Scotch out there and celebrate it for wild-eyed. What is it? Wild-eyed? No. For spide-eyed rascals, I'm your man. I'm a spide-eyed rascal. I will drink this. There we go.
Spide-eyed. Yeah, I feel spide-eyed.
I could be spide-eyed. What is spide-eyed? Is that like all...
No.
Is that like all
like beady eyes?
Beady-eyed, kind of like eagle eye like that?
Beady eyes and like suspicious looking. I mean, I don't know.
I hope the listeners, while people are listening to this, are looking at themselves like in their phone or in a mirror, trying to figure out what a spide-eyed look is. Like, am I spide-eyed? Is it one-eyed raised? Maybe is that a spide-eyed?
Is it a suspicious look?
You know what? I feel like I have to look up what is spide-eyed. What is spide-eye? I feel like I need to know. I'm not connected to the internet.
It didn't even like your search.
Dude.
I know.
I don't know what's going on here. It's saying my internet's down. My mouse isn't working.
What's happening?
What is coming of the world, dude?
I don't know. We're not prepared.
I thought we were. I'm not gonna lie.
I kind of felt like we were. Let's manifest this out.
Manifest good internet.
Good internet.
You know what I'm gonna do while we're starting? I'm gonna go ahead and reboot it because rebooting fixes everything.
Oh, not hammering the computer? Not throwing it against the wall?
Are you talking about your Saturday night?
I said computer.
Oh, you said hammering.
Hammering the computer.
Sounds like something you're talking about. Okay, so we have a lot to talk about today. While the computer reboots, I don't know if the AC is working today or not. It doesn't feel like it. But
it might fall apart mid-flight here, mid-show, but hey.
Oh, they.
Just keep manifesting a good show here. I
want to talk about leadership today.
Oh, yeah.
Our Instagram page, it's called Back to the Basic Leaderships, and I've been posting on our Instagram page, about when we have new episodes out, episode 9 and all that, and I think we've started heading in that direction, talking about manifesting and
power of positive thinking,
power of positive thinking and all that. So and there's so much to talk about leadership.
Oh gosh.
There's so many, Maxwell, his books. I have a lot of his books. Good stuff. I like Jocko Willink. I'm really big on that. You remember I did that big meeting and I had a thing about Jocko Willink and I talked about him about leadership. I really like his stuff about leadership. So there's a lot of good stuff we could talk about. Oh yeah, there we go. My internet's called El Pollo Loco.
I love it.
El Pollo Loco.
Dude. You gotta have fun.
Right? So we'll get this up and running. But yeah, so I do want to talk about leadership, but I do also want to talk about a couple of things that were probably in the news this week.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Let's just kind of touch base. I feel like it should be like a news. You ever see Robin Williams on what was that Vietnam movie?
Good morning,
Good morning, Vietnam. He does that thing where he's all and this is the news. I love that, but that's Robin Williams. He was amazing.
Yeah, he's talented.
And maybe we'll do a podcast about Robin Williams in the future. I think that's something we should talk about because very successful guy.
Mm-hmm.
And another one of these people that really speaks to me.
Robin Williams?
He did happy movies to make people happy.
Mm-hmm.
Great comedian. Do you know what I mean? Perceivably loved life, right?
Yeah.
Spent his life making people happy, but inside, he was always very sad. Eventually took his life.
That's definitely a good subject. Because I think that a lot of people go through that, and I think sometimes people have hard times, and
right.
I don't know. I mean,
spend your whole life trying to be successful, but you get more stuff, but are you ever really happy? Do you know what I mean? So I think there's that could go in a lot of different directions, and I don't know. I mean, let's not like spend too much time on that, but I think that would be a really good topic for the future.
I think so.
Talking about Robin Williams would be great,
Maybe talking about things that could help as coping mechanisms.
Maybe.
That's
you. Let's talk about how to cope with it. I'm like, dude, let's talk about
I'm all about coping. I really am. Like if you're not feeling good, like finding inspiration around you. I'm all about that.
You are about that.
I am. I'll send like little screenshots of things that I think are cool or inspiring, and I'll share with others.
You're that person.
I know.
You're that person.
I try not to, overdo it. I think I've done it with you and Daddy-O on our group text message, and it's like been crickets.
I know, right? It's like what's going on here?
I'm scratching my head like, is anyone gonna answer? Does this inspire you?
Well, you know what's funny? I just looked up what I just Googled what is spide-eyed, and it starts talking about scotch.
So is it maybe when you drink too much scotch you become spide-eyed?
Like when you drink it, you go like you make that like that look, maybe that's what it means, I don't know. I'm kind of excited to see what it means. But no, it talks about scotch when you look up what does spy-side mean? Is it spy-side?
Spiced or spied?
Spay-side, SPEYSIDE, spay-side or spy-side?
Spy-side, like spy-side.
I don't know. It doesn't tell you what it means. It's just it talks about scotch. So apparently, I'm willing to bet you it has to do with the face you make when you drink a strong scotch. That's what I'm willing to bet. I don't know. We're gonna have to research that.
Try not to make a face when we drink alcohol.
Yeah, you think about it, you tense your face up. You're like, ooh.
It can be tricky though. Sometimes you expect a drink to be very strong, and you're ready to make the face. But what's always cool is when you take a sip. You're like,
Jeanette, hey,
smooth.
Tell me what's always cool.
When it's smooth.
Oh.
That's unexpected.
Speaking of cool.
Vodka.
Speaking of cool, I've got to pull this up because I am not cool, but Jeanette is.
Oh crap.
I know. I mean, here we are. We're doing this. We're putting videos on YouTube, and we're putting videos on. Oh no, we're on. What are we on now?
Apple.
No, we're on Apple. But
Spotify.
Yeah, we're on Spotify now. How about that, dude?
Dude, that's crazy.
So, you get a comment.
Oh, what is a comment?
The comment says, I miss you, G-Funk. I need to come see you and meet your friend, Mass Drinks. And then she says, Jeanette is a beer drinking champ. Miss Amy Lou Boo, yes, Jeanette is. Shout out to Amy Lou Boo, because Jeanette is a legit beer drinking champ. Jeanette pounds, dude. And I'm not talking like Saturday night pounding. I mean, she puts beer back.
There's only one other person that I know who can keep up with that.
Who?
That's our friend Daddy-O.
Oh,
you know what? I respect it. I understand. We have the same beer style.
Well, again, it goes back to drinking. Like, I like the concept of having a drink while we're talking, because you're having drinks with friends. You're relaxed, and I think you can do that responsibly, which is something I always liked about this. You know what I want to do too? I want to have like a cigar night where we're just all cigaring it away. Are you a smoker? Can you cigar it up?
I've never done it.
Oh, I love cigars. We're going to do a cigar night.
All right. I
Crack
guess
the windows
I'll have
open.
to learn how to smoke a cigar.
Love cigars. I just, I like what they call the Connecticut, which is like a medium. It's like a Connecticut. You got like strong, medium, and light. So a Connecticut cigar would be like mediums. You know what I mean? And there's one brand called Oliva. I love it. Oliva Platinum, I believe. Just terrific. So we just need to chill and have some cigars.
All right, I'll have to practice with you boys first.
Dude, yes.
I'll have to practice with you boys first before I do it in front of others. This is
going to be the smoking room here, right? No, just come in here and you're going to be like, we're going to be talking, you're going to be hacking the microphone.
No, that's what happened to that chick. She smokes now.
And on today's podcast, lightweights. Lightweights.
Let's see what it's going to take for Jeanette to follow.
I know, right? So, something that was... It was in the news and it was on Instagram because I've got my notes. I had all sorts of notes.
I know, dude. You came all prepared.
I've been carrying this in my phone. I've been writing stuff down. I feel like I'm growing up.
You have like a post. You're like carrying around a
post-it pad. I know. I put it on my phone. God. I was like, I gotta make a note of it. Bam. Post-it. No. So.
I think you did. I think you just discovered something about
I know, right?
So, I don't even want to say it out loud, but I think you discovered something.
What did I discover?
You should invent something.
Oh.
I know. Should I say it out loud?
No,
I don't think so.
You can't share this.
No. Okay, I can't. Sorry about.
You text it to me.
I'll text it to you.
So, I saw this in the news, and I was taken aback by this, and it was like a traditional Norwegian thing.
Yeah, you were talking about that early this
where
morning.
they were hunting dolphins, and they were killing them, and this is one of the largest. It was one of the most successful years where they killed like a lot of dolphins. More than recent history. You know what I mean? And it kind of bothered me, and I was like, dolphins seem like gentle, beautiful things. You know what I mean? They have that little dolphin language, and. People talk about dolphins like saving.
I thought you were gonna make the noise. I was expecting it.
I can't say it that loud.
I was expecting.
They kill. Okay, so I think this is the one. Faroe Islands anger over killing 1,400 dolphins in one day. 1,400.
Just because it was a tradition.
Just because it was a tradition. A reported record, and it's a 4th century old tradition of hunting dolphins. I just blew my mind. Because
do they do anything with the dolphins? Do they feed the hungry? Do they? I mean, are they trying to wipe them out?
I don't know.
Are they
don't know.
heavily populated over there? I mean,
is anything heavily populated in the oceans anymore?
I mean, that's just it seems senseless. I mean, the ocean is big.
Right.
You don't have to. It's not like.
Right.
It
just blew my mind. It just blew my mind. I mean, 1,400. I can't comprehend that. I'm on the BBC News right now, but yeah, one day there was a picture of just rows of dolphins with slits on the back of their heads. You know what I mean? And okay, so the carcasses were pulled ashore and distributed to locals for consumption. They were killed with knives, known as the grind or grindadrap. In the Faroese, the hunting of sea mammals, primarily whales, is a tradition that has been practiced for 100 years on the remote Faroe Islands. Okay, so they consumed it. Okay, white-sided dolphins are caught in lower numbers, such as 35 in 2020, 10 in 2019. So, so 35 in 2020 to 1,400 this year. Supporters say the whaling is a sustainable way of gathering food from nature and an important part of their cultural identity. Animal rights activists have a long disagreement, deeming the slaughter cruel and unnecessary. I don't know. If it's one thing for food, I guess.
Yeah, but...
You know what I mean? Because, we slaughter cows for food.
But, I mean, I get you're slaughtering animals to feed the hungry, but, I mean, to feed the hungry...
Right.
It seems like by distributing it to people, what are they like? Giving it to restaurants so they can sell it, or I mean, it almost seems like a business.
Well, okay,
for
so
profit. I mean, I don't know if there's anything humanitarian about it.
That's in the Atlantic. That's the forum. Okay, they're going to consume them and all that, right? Okay, so the Taiji Dolphin Drive Hunt. The Taiji Dolphin Drive Hunt is based on driving dolphins and other small cetaceans into a small bay where they can be killed or captured for their meat and sale for dolphinariums. Taiji is long connected to Japanese whaling, and I don't know. I thought they did it because for some reason they thought it would ward
off evil spirits. I'm just kidding.
I know, right? No, I thought they did it for the sake of having, because the dolphins get in the way of their fisheries or something like that in the Pacific. I mean, are they doing it again? Are they doing it? Are they doing it for food, or are they doing it for the senseless sake of doing it?
Just because it's a tradition, and it can be revisited.
So we can't show stuff because of copyright and all that stuff. We can't show stuff on camera. But look at the bay; it runs red. The blue water runs red.
That's awful.
They killed 2,000 dolphins. I mean, it's grisly.
Yeah, it's super senseless, I think.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, is it for food? Is it for why are they doing it? And like, there's a show on, there's a documentary on this called, I believe it's called The Cove. Mm-hmm. And this guy was talking, because it's super secretive. Like, they don't allow media there. They don't like cameras. And this guy snuck there. He's like an ocean activist trying to save the oceans and trying to figure out what's the best way to do it. Trying to like be green at home and try to do more and more. And then he goes to Japan to film this, and he said it's super secretive. They kill those 2,000 dolphins every year, and I don't know if they do it to eat. I don't know if they do it for better, because they think it's going to have a better fishing, you know what I mean? But it's super touchy. Yeah, and again, dolphins are beautiful creatures. I think the ocean is super important. Oh, there was a mosquito flying over you. I was going to kill it.
Oh man, of course.
So long as it's on your side.
Oh.
But
this is where Jeanette got malaria.
I know, right? Jeanette got malaria. She got Zika.
She got it on the show.
There it is. Oh, did I get it?
Got it?
Did I get it? He's here somewhere.
Honestly, don't even see it.
It's that one. There's gonna be that. Wasn't it like 2 shows back? There was like 5 flies.
Yes.
And they're just everywhere. Now it's like that one lone mosquito. If you see it, you better tell me. You better save me.
I don't even see it.
Okay, so
you better save me. Where's that fly swatter?
My cheeks all start sucking. My cheeks start sucking in. It's like, Mark, something's wrong with you. You're losing color. It's that bloody mosquito. No. So how crazy is that though? Like these dolphin hunts, tradition. I mean, does it provide food for the communities? I mean, it sounds like it could, but I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it. You know what I mean? Like dolphins. I mean, they hunt hundreds of thousands of tunas. Tuna's a big part of their culture. Fishing, salmon. There's we do all sorts of fishing.
But also too, fish. I mean, you're also thinking about how the size of a fish. I mean,
right.
It can...
Well, here's something to think about. We fish. It's food. Fish. And fish is in its own category, a species called fish. A fish is a fish.
A fish is a fish.
Dolphins are mammals. We're mammals. Ooh, dun dun dun.
Somehow I have a feeling we're going to start talking about cannibalism, so I'm just going to...
So you're in a plane crash in the Andes with a rugby team.
I have a feeling we're
and you're super hungry, Jeanette. What do? And go.
Oh my God, we're going to revisit this.
Like, Mark, you would look good slathered in barbecue sauce.
It's only been hour 1.
Oh my God, it's horrible.
I know.
It's like that looks like lean protein. To be really healthy.
We start. No, we've had this conversation before.
I've been reading about Arctic expeditions and where they do stuff like that. Mm-hmm. There was one guy, and I was listening to a show about him last night. A really famous explorer from I want to say somewhere like in Norway or something, and he eventually lost his foot to like frostbite. He started getting gangrene, and the Eskimos, the Inuit, helped him treat it. So the gangrene had already set in, and when you get gangrene in your skin and all that just died, they start rotting away. And he got so annoyed at seeing his the bones of his toes, he just broke them off.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he's like, but it caused like a lot of, like more damage than it should have, and so he could never do expeditions out there. But he did he wrote like one of the first books on like how the Inuit people, like very comprehensive for its time, like 100 years ago or something like that.
Wow.
Really interesting guy. I don't remember his name, but just really fascinating, right? Then this guy, what was interesting is he fell asleep in a crevice.
Was it that one movie? It's actually very good.
No.
Where in order for him to survive, he had to chop off his own arm.
No.
And it was
You're talking about that hiker guy from Arizona.
Yeah.
And he fell in the rock wedged between.
And he was in a crevasse.
I think a crevasse.
A crevasse.
Trying to make these tragedies all.
We're trying to make it all fancy.
Elegant tragedy here. So no. So in the Arctic, he would find a crevice to sleep in, right? Mm-hmm. But then it snowed over, so he was stuck in there.
Oh man.
And he was trying to dig his way out, but his hands were getting so cold, and he was going to get frostbite, so he stopped. So he looked. He's like the explorer of his day, right? He's like a man's man. So he's trying to figure out how to get out of this crevice so he doesn't die, because he's trying to get out, but there's no more snow, and the more he digs, when he digs snow, it fills up his little hole.
So his cave is narrowing. It's this crevasse.
Right, but he's trying to dig without freezing his hands, because if your hands freeze, you're in bad. You're in a bad spot. So he looks around to find the only tool he can find. What? And there's no tools. So what he does is, you ready for this?
Oh God, what does he do?
He gets his feces and he shapes it into like a device, like a knife or something.
Because it's all frozen. And
he lets it freeze. And then once his feces is frozen into something he can use as a tool, he uses that to dig out of the crevice. I keep on saying crevice.
I know. In life, you're going to be like, damn it, Jeanette.
We need to find us a good crevasse to rest in.
Good crevasse. It's a crevice. No. Not anymore.
Crevasse. I don't want a regular crevice. I would like a crevasse.
I want a crevasse.
So he used his frozen feces to dig out of a crevice. Like, talk about like life or death situation. You're hungry, you need to eat a person. You're in a snow cave that's caving in on you. You need to dig out. What's the only thing you could do is poop and mold it into something you could use after it freezes. A poopsicle.
Pretty much.
Knife. Poop axe, poop knife, poop tool. I don't know.
I mean, it's smart.
It's smart.
Did he get himself out?
He did. Because he lived, and he became like a consultant for Hollywood on Arctic movies. He was even in a movie that won like an Oscar or something like that. Apparently, a very successful guy. But I mean, it kind of lends itself to like the ingenuity of man, survival.
But then you're also going to be known as that guy who froze his poop too.
He froze his poop.
I mean, you're still going to be known. You can do all of these incredible things.
Man who froze poop. And here's
so like
the
20
kind of
names come up.
to like Peter Freuchen was a Danish traveler, author, journalist, and anthropologist. He's most famous for being the 6'7" Arctic explorer who used his feces to save himself in a blizzard. Bam! There it was.
6'7"?
I guess we could have said feces.
Yeah, no. Instead, we went for it.
We went for it. Like, we really went for it.
I know, we're like poopsicle, or like
a feces-sicle just doesn't sound good.
No, it doesn't.
No,
but I love the word crevasse now.
Crevasse and poopsicle and crevasse. That's
what did we learn today, people?
But a man like that is also probably a great leader because he has that will to go on.
All right, so talking about great leaders, and there's like a set of...
There's a mindset.
And list what they are so we can like...
Do you want to go there yet, or should we talk about our other topics first? Because we had a couple of things we wanted to talk about first.
All right.
So...
No, there's one that I'm kind of wanting to dodge.
Dude!
Yeah. That might be for
I've got all my sticky notes here. Okay, here's the leadership one. I'm gonna leave it there.
There's one that could possibly like get me in trouble.
We're gonna get there in a little while.
In life.
In life.
So.
Okay, so we'll get there eventually. So I subscribe to Coast AM.
Mm-hmm.
They talk about all sorts of stuff, and they come on at night. Sometimes I would listen to their shows during the day. You know, they put online and all that. But I got this email like on the newest thing, like every day the Coast Insider to send emails. Really good, like if you're into like ghosts, government conspiracies, UFOs, and all that. It's really cool to subscribe to it, and if you're really into it, their AM show's like 4 hours long. It's all night.
Oh wow!
So you listen to it, and sometimes there's people on there that you just you know what I mean. And sometimes you're just drawn in. Like David Paulides was on there a number of times, just draws you in. You're like, oh my god, people are missing. Da 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 da. But I got the Coast Insider today, and it said video of a cube-shaped UFO from New Jersey.
A cube shape. So now they're cube shaped?
Well, there was somebody had an iPhone or something. There was a lightning storm, and they caught their attention because there was a lightning storm, but there's no sound, like no like thunder.
Oh, weird.
Boom.
Yeah. Wait, there was a light. Oh wow.
And it was like the video shows like crazy lightning. You can look it up on YouTube.
But like no sound.
Right, and then when they slow down, you see the clouds lighting up. Because, sometimes the lightning, you don't see the lightning bolt, but you see the lightning lighting up the clouds.
Mm-hmm.
So you're watching it, and they slow it down, and behind one of the clouds, like right above it, you see a square shape.
Oh,
very, very well defined. And for being like a cumulus cloud, which are the big poofy ones that look like marshmallows, pillows, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Makes you want to go lay in them. I've jumped through a cloud. They're not that soft. They're not. So I expected just to like land in a big old marshmallow and be like, oh yay, I'm gonna bite it. Didn't happen. I was disappointed. I was very disappointed. But no, and you could see like a.
sounds. I was gonna say it sounds like something a glowy would say.
Glow, glow, glow.
Glow, glow.
But it was kind of cool because you could see like a square shaped something there. Mm-hmm. The silhouette of it from the lightning.
Yeah.
And they slowed down. I just thought it was kind of cool. Because like I say, we're not like could be a show about
supernatural
and all that.
Ghosts.
But
it's still
it's very interesting. You don't want to avoid it.
It's fun to talk about.
It's a reality because it's here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if things didn't happen that weren't questionable, it wouldn't be here. But I think it is. I think it's here. I think it's worth talking about. And that's a whole other show. The Pentagon's releasing a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? More and more. There's more and more coming out about it. So I don't know. It's fun, but it was just kind of cool. There was like a square shaped UFO that they're saying, and it was like up there. How weird, right?
That is really strange.
Right, that was kind of strange. So,
topic number one.
That was topic number two.
Topic number two.
No. So, we've been having a conversation now for like. It started about 4 months.
Is this the Lola? Is this the after hours conversation?
Yeah.
Damn it.
So
I don't even know if I want to go there.
So it's been it was a conversation that started like 3 months ago, roughly, maybe 2 months ago.
I'll dive in. I'll go ahead
and it's like regarding dick pics.
Yeah. Guys
send girls dick pics.
Yeah, it's very common if you're dating.
I think we need to address this. America needs to face this. There's cell phones with camera technology that you can zoom in on stuff, get fine detail, high def cameras, and there's pictures of dicks flying through the internet, flying through the sky.
All the time. Sometimes you'll be on a dating site, and the first communication you might get from that person will be a straight up dick pic, and you're just like, huh, that's very ballsy. Like, what makes you think that that's good? So,
what happened 20 years ago before the internet, before the advent of texting and pictures in camera phones? Because you had the cell phone that came out first.
Yes. And
then cameras came out. I don't know what came first, the camera or I think it was cameras.
I think it's a camera.
And then texting, and then the ability to send pictures through text, and then the internet, and then once the internet opened up, dating sites and all that. So that kind of lent itself to
It's just out there.
It just now it's wide open. Like, boom. Like somebody opened Pandora's box. The dicks will never go back in the box.
No, they're everywhere. They're everywhere. Your friends talk about it. I mean,
my friends don't talk about it.
Well, because they're all. I don't know. Are they the ones that they know? I don't know.
Well, I feel like this is a controversial topic that America needs to talk about.
It could definitely go onto a separate podcast if ever we have one.
Maybe we need to. Maybe we need to research this further.
Yeah.
Delve in like balls deep.
Seriously. I knew you were gonna do something like that.
You know, I feel like we need to have a guest on here, like a psychologist, and we need to like really delve into this. This is a topic we're gonna shelve it for later, but let's just kind of touch the tip.
Really? Just touch the tip?
Just the tip.
Just the tip. Just the tip, I promise.
Guys will send unsolicited.
Unsolicited.
Maybe, and I don't want to say maybe 100% solicited because there probably are women that are like, hey man, send me a picture of your junk. Did that happen? Do you think there are probably women that want to see?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Of course, there's women who
there are women that probably want to see it.
I'm not gonna say this is all men's fault, but there's a lot of.
It's like a question of what came first, the egg or the chicken. So what came first? Was it the solicitation for the dick pic, or was the dick pic sent first? What came first?
This is a very. We could. I was gonna say we could go really deep on this. Damn it!
Oh my god!
All right.
So, I'm curious. I mean, so I think there's probably a percentage of women that probably get a kick out of it. Some probably want to see it, like testing the waters first, right? You know, it's like when you go to the store. When you go to the store, you're going to buy a piece of meat. You want to see it and look at it, touch it, and see if it's something you want to buy, right?
I've never thought about it in that terms, but I mean, in essence, isn't that what premarital sex is, or just sex in general? I mean, if you're not married,
no, Jeanette.
Aren't you just testing the waters?
No, let's focus here.
Okay, focus. Focus, Jeanette, okay.
Dick pics are being sent through the internet wirelessly.
So
you might have just had one fly right past you.
I mean, they're all over this damn room, I'm sure, because of Las Cruces.
So,
requests, I have no idea.
So a friend of ours made the comment that, you know, she had a pretty one.
And it is common, and women have said this, yes.
So you did a survey. I reached out to a colleague and a friend of mine.
Okay, I only reached out to like maybe 2 people.
And I reached out to her and I explained to her the situation and said, you know, we're having this conversation about men sending unsolicited penises to your cell phone, and she's like, oh my god, it's horrible. You're like, and I was like, and a friend of mine said, you know, she saw a real pretty one, and I got to thinking, I'm like, what warrants it being pretty? I mean, is it groomed? Is it moisturized? Is it? I don't know. And then my friend here, whose name does not rhyme with peanut butter and jelly, PB&J.
Oh dear Lord! Oh, we just opened Pandora's box.
Oh,
so yeah. I think we're
but she was like,
this
so she said, I have never heard of a penis being described as pretty, and I go, really? And she goes, absolutely not. And I go, she said, I'm gonna ask my colleagues, and she said, no, nobody's described it that way, and I'm like,
well, you know, you can actually go a little deeper. Damn it! You can go a little deeper. I mean, think about like all of these, like, okay, think about like these, you go to like weird places and they have like they have like the little statues or like a sign of like fertility, or, you know, I mean, it's always like very powerful.
We're talking about dick pics.
I know it is, but also now we're talking about statues and things like that. I mean, you know.
Okay, it's existed. There's like Greek pottery.
Yes,
with stuff like
and
that.
there's like, you know, there's symbolism for like strength and powerfulness, and I mean, if you want to go there, I mean, you can totally explore that. I just feel like this conversation is never going to go away.
Okay, but using it as a way to meet women that you... So, not even to meet women. You don't know them.
I know, unless you're like a Greek god and you're simple and super powerful.
So you don't know them, but you send it to them.
I mean, that's like, that is weird.
That's
though.
bold. I think it's bold. It's bold.
But also, you could also go back to that one.
Does skin tonality have a lot to do with it? Or the pose? I mean, if you do like
if you're talking about being bold.
The pirate, like the Captain Morgan.
My mind
if you do the Heisman pose, or how does that go? Like,
I mean that's just like full bodied. I thought we were just talking strictly like the dick pic.
I don't know. So okay,
I don't think you have to do a pose.
If we got any comments ever besides one commenting on how good of a beer drinker you are.
Thank you, Amy.
So if we ever got any comments,
she acknowledges the skill.
She hasn't met me yet.
Oh, Amy, I think
but
you
know
have
what?
to come out.
I'm a hard liquor person.
But I also have to say, one of our friends can keep up, and I appreciate that.
The liquor, tequila. Come on, keep up with tequila. Come on, let's do it. Go there.
Go there?
Go there. You want to go there? You want to go
Tequila?
there? You want to dance? You want to do this?
You want to do this?
I'll go there with beer. But you want to go there with tequila? Come on, Jeanette.
Really? Okay, you're going to go there with beer, but I have to get there with tequila.
Yeah.
Like, I have to go there with tequila?
Yes.
Jeez.
Tit for tat.
Do you want to see me? Do you want to see me on the ground?
I'm just saying, if we're going to go there, if the gauntlet gets thrown, we're going to go there. We're going to go there.
Do you want to see me on the floor?
Dude.
Do you want to see me puking?
Do they want to see you puking?
No.
Okay, so anyways.
Go back.
So,
go back.
So I would suspect there's a, I don't want to say small percent of girls versus a big percent of girls.
Honestly, if any women are listening to this podcast, comment and tell me what your thoughts are on dick pics.
Yeah.
But we were also talking about the solicitation of it, and that is a bold thing to do. And I was going to circle back to say about How I Met Your Mother, that one episode.
Oh yeah, I was going to say that, the naked man.
Yes, naked
2 out of 3 times. So what would be the stats of the dick pic working? Because you're not saying like, hey, I want to get to know you. You sound really smart. Let me send you a picture of my cock.
You're saying, sound really smart.
No, you're just saying like it's like you're saying like, what are you doing in 5 minutes? You want to get up on this?
That's pretty. Yeah,
I mean, let's okay. All joking aside,
this almost can go along with our dating future episode that we.
It could. Okay, we'll bring it up future.
We need to bring this up again.
But
and
does it correlate though? Like, I mean, is that the message, right? I mean, obviously, I think it is.
Always the message is sex. Are we gonna have sex?
Are we gonna do it? But going back to the original conversation was, do women classify dicks as pretty and ugly?
Yes.
Because my other quote unquote surveyor that will continue to be anonymous, that name rhymes with peanut butter and jelly.
All of my friends.
My calling.
Pretty much all of my friends.
So her contention was like, and she was very emotional in her voice. She was like, no. She was like,
emotional.
I could hear her. She was like, no, why? And I was like, okay, so would you say it's ugly, or would you say it's like, eh?
Yeah.
And she was just, I could hear the air coming out of her. She was like, and she was just like, no. And we couldn't get past there.
I almost feel like this could be like I don't know.
I feel like we need to go to the big city, set up a table, and do a random survey. Maybe go to a couple college campuses. We'll have like the dick tour, and we'll go deep into America.
Deep into America.
And we'll get out there. We'll get around.
And like spread the message like a disease.
No, not spread the message. We'll collect data.
Oh, okay.
Okay, no,
spread
okay.
the message like a infection.
Spread the message that, ladies, men are doing this. You need to be careful when you open text messages and emails from dating sites. Be aware. Avert your eyes. No.
Avert your eyes.
It's kind of curious though. When did this start? And like, who one day thought like, hey dude, I want to send a picture of my penis to this chick.
And then it just caught on, huh?
Or like, okay, so somebody had to have done it and got results and be like, dude, I sent a picture of my junk to this chick, and we hooked up that night. She was all about it.
So who is this guy?
Like, who is this man? Who is patient zero? Who is penis zero?
I think it was like the first.
We're gonna call it Big P with little zero. Penis zero. Who is patient zero? Because I want like.
Who has spread this infection? Sorry.
It's like I don't know. Today's podcast is going down the drain fast.
Really fast. Totally.
But
and I was gonna get all go psychology on there. I'm like, but I can't remember crap that I learned in psychology, so let's just not even.
It's an interesting question though. Who started this? And obviously, either they had fun with it, either it was successful. For some reason, it caught on.
It almost feels like we're gonna have to do a sort of
a poll. Are we gonna do a survey monkey?
I think we should definitely do a survey.
Do an analysis.
But I almost kind of feel like there's a few challenges in our future drinking endeavors.
A lot of drinking those days. I'm just.
I feel like there's gonna be some ridiculous dares, like How I Met Your Mother style, like where Barney is like challenge accepted.
I think you can have a relationship with somebody. Like you can be best friends. You can be like, I don't want to say that for, but you can be like fuck buddies. But you can be like friends with benefits, I guess is the better way to saying it, and all that. You can have those kind of relationships and maybe like send stuff like that back and forth. Do you know what I mean? I think if you have a friend like that, that maybe you have that relationship established.
But that was not patient.
Well, that's not patient zero.
That's not patient zero.
That's not penis zero. So it's not.
Zero.
But I think those kind of relationships are established, and when those relationships are established, how do I say it? It's established, right?
But that still doesn't answer
it's not like when you're on a dating site.
Okay.
When you're like, ooh, I like this girl. Let me upload my junk to her and see if she's down. Is she DDF?
Is she DDF?
Right?
Oh my God! That's just
right?
So funny.
So when did it start? And how many women out there think they're beautiful or call them beautiful? Like, what kind of? How do they categorize them? Like, I mean, is it like by girth, by width, by looks? Are these fabulous? Are these pretty? Are these like, are these just? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I'm very, very curious. You know what I mean?
All right. So it seems like we're going to have to do a better survey.
Further analysis, more surveys.
All right, so I will do my part. I will have
numerous
ladies' nights.
Are inner city women more open to it than women from rural areas? You're going to have to do some traveling. Is it like a cultural thing?
I think I'm going to have to definitely...
If you go to the Midwest where there's higher Scandinavian population versus Southwest where there's more Mexicans versus... like maybe an Oriental community, you know what I mean? Like Jeanette, I need you to find out. I need you to investigate and dig. I need you to go deep, Jeanette. I need you to go deep.
Okay. Wow. I feel like Barney, like challenge accepted. I will ask the question out there, and you know what? Maybe this is honestly.
You know what?
We have to bring this
keep
up.
Statistics. Make a spreadsheet.
Oh my Lord.
I want it in Excel. I need quantifiable data, and what we're gonna do is when we have our dating podcast show.
I'm gonna come with like my freaking PowerPoint.
Oh my God!
I'm gonna come with my PowerPoint, my spreadsheets, and my graphs.
I feel like it's over. Like the podcast's over. We're done. We're done. It's over. I'm just gonna hang my head in shame and just.
Yeah.
I've only had my first glass of scotch,
I know,
dude. I haven't even drank enough for this.
All right, so people don't know.
Oh my God.
People don't know our sense of humor, so they're like, what the hell?
This is podcast 9. I think they might have an idea of our humor, but...
well, it was about to come out anyway. I mean, our friends warned us.
I'm just shaking my head in disbelief.
I mean, and this is stuff that we probably would talk about in a group setting with our other friends. This is the leadership
podcast. This is the podcast that we're talking about an explorer, Peter Freuchen, that used feces to save himself. He's led men... He's a leader of leaders, and he has that survival instinct.
I'm telling you, this. I mean, I knew when you brought this up, this was like a.
We have another topic I want to talk about.
Is it as
scandalous?
Scandalous and provocative. Is
well,
this one?
It was about jealousy.
Oh yes, jealousy. I think we really should do a dating.
I think so, because you can wrap that in there too. Because I think couples. Because it's funny, because like we can touch really quickly on jealousy.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I think jealousy can be bad. It can be dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
It can be disgusting, hurtful. It can be a lot of stuff, right? But then at the same time, when you're in a relationship, you need to have like a hint of jealousy, though. It kind of makes it exciting. I mean, no, you tell me. You just shot me this look of like
no, actually, I know. It's just it's actually kind of funny that you say that, because this is something, I mean, I have my, you call them my separate crews. I have my.
You have your.
My cruise.
Your cruise, okay. We're talking about your
like my
gaggle of men, or
my
your,
girls,
your homegirls.
my homegirls,
oh, okay.
my homegirl crew, and then I have like
I need another drink.
my other brewery girl.
I can't handle this.
My other brewery crew, and then you and Dario and
Copper Dog is going good tonight.
Man, we just wrecked this leadership.
If you need a sponsor, we have we haven't said this well, but we have zero budget, no budget.
But no, I mean, just talking to, friends and people, and not trying to anything in particular, but it makes me think, like, jealousy is a monster, and it's actually pretty funny, because this conversation has come up a few times.
With friends?
With friends.
Well, you know what? I think
jealousy, people will say, I'm not jealous.
Jealousy
but
has an
then,
ugly face.
Yes, and then all of a sudden it comes
and
out.
When it rears its ugly face, things go bad fast.
Yes.
But like I say, like, I think having a hint of jealousy, though, and I'm not saying full on jealous. I saw you looking at me, and and it gets ugly. I think there are people like that, and I think it's ugly. But at the same time, like, when you're like, for me, when you're with a girl and she notices you looking at somebody and she kind of shoots you the look, it's like.
And I think that you're onto something. I mean, I think you really are onto something, because I've been in relationship where I had someone tell me he wasn't jealous, and true story, I mean, the whole time nothing, no really? Jealousy,
okay.
No jealous.
Here's a situation that's come up.
Not that worked out anyway.
Like,
but still.
you're dating somebody and she's not jealous. She's not jealous of you, right? But then, or she's not the jealous type. But then you're talking to another female, just whether bar, whatever. You're just talking to a female that you might know or might through a friend or something, and then your girlfriend notices, and she's not jealous. She's not gonna be like, "Who's that bitch you're talking to?" But she kind of does this thing where she kind of comes up to you and she like just holds on to you, just kind of tight for a second, or she kind of runs her hand along your back, just to, like she's marking her territory, like, this is my guy. And it's just like, it's like a very sexy thing, but I think it's rooted in that slight hint of jealousy, where she's not coming out being mean and being ugly about it, but she's just saying, like, this is mine. And when a woman does that gentle touch where she runs her hand on you and it shows to another person that this is my man, that's like sexy.
You like it.
It's sexy.
You like it. And there's honestly, I think that there's
just give me goosebumps. I was like talking about that.
Oh, you've experienced that.
Yeah. Yes. Like like I say, and just in that way, where like you're talking to a female, and the woman you're with, she like comes up to you and she just runs her hand along your arm and just gives your hand a squeeze, and the other woman sees.
I think
and it's very subtle, but it's very provocative.
But I think there's something very healthy in knowing that the person that you're with.
That they like you enough, and it stirs that emotional response.
That
dude, hook it up with the ice. Crunchy ice is the best.
Crunchy ice is so good.
I wish I had a crunchy ice maker. That is classic Mark. We're talking about jealousy and being provocative. It's like, ooh, crunchy ice. I mean,
oh my gosh.
ADHD.
Oh my God.
God bless it.
Podcast has gone down the hill, but I love it. I still love it. Thank you for being here. Anyone who's still watching.
I know. Everybody's like, what's... No, you know
what's happening.
Like, our intro our viewers at the intro starts
We're
going
so-
down,
we're all
but then we
super
start talking about
serious.
like dick pics. It's just like through the roof. And it started going back down a little bit, but now it's just, I mean, I don't know. It's all over the place.
Dude, this is hilarious.
You know what
but
I need to get you? I
there-
need to get you a shaker. When you make a drink, you shake it. And I'm going to bring a shaker next time.
Dude, that
And
would be awesome.
people could hear it. They're going to be like, we're going to be talking, and all of a sudden you can hear on the radio, chicka, 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 chicka. It's like, whoa, Jeanette, that sounds legit. Okay, so back to jealousy.
Alright, so jealousy. You know, and you like it when women show that slight jealousy. There's good and bad jealousy, and I think I can agree here. I think there can be jealousy where, man, I can't even believe I'm saying this, good and bad jealousy.
Right.
I'm going to be very honest about the kind of person I am.
Are you an angry, ugly,
I'm not
jealous
an angry,
woman?
ugly, jealous person.
You just like,
but I am jealous.
Pull hair, throw punches.
No.
That's my man.
I'm too damn reasonable for that, but I do feel like, oh, no, he's mine. No, I do.
The claws come out, you're like,
wait a minute. Oh, like I'm not sharing.
I'm trying to do my
I don't like to share. I don't share.
Well,
I don't like to share.
I agree. I
don't
agree.
like to share.
I'm not agreeing with you, but I think I'm not one to share. I
not
don't want to open that kind of words. Let's not go there.
I'm telling you, this is going to be a dating episode.
But there's something about a hint of jealousy though that shows that you care. It's like when it strikes that emotional
it just
tingling, that stir inside, deep inside, like that's mine right there.
That's mine.
Do you know what I mean? But at the same time, but not having that response where you go crazy, but where you just do something very subtle to let that person know that yes, you're mine, and kind of indicating to the, like if it's a woman indicating to another woman, this is mine, but at the same time something very subtle but sexy, this to tell your man, and then he's like, oh,
she wants me.
do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I do know what you mean. I do know what you mean.
So I think there's maybe that it's a balance.
But you do have to find that balance, and I think a lot of the times when, you know, like I said, I can be jealous, but at the same time, I also feel like I'm a very reasonable person. Like those are things that it's never ugly. It's never like
I've had
inappropriate.
A girlfriend.
I never crossed the line ever.
Straight up punch another girl I was talking to.
Oh God, I would be mortified.
I would
never do that.
as a boyfriend.
I would be mortified.
I was mortified. She hit her. I was mortified. This is
uncomfortable.
This is like umpteen years ago when I was a kid.
Super
I was actually in college.
Yeah.
She was actually older than me.
You've actually told me about this.
Yeah. She was
person.
She was significantly older than me, and it mortified me. And that's kind of, I think that was my first experience with it.
Because it starts to feel dangerous.
It did start, and I felt like I was trying to
borderline.
I was trying to defuse a bomb at that point. That's what I felt like if I think about it. And being the boyfriend was more than just like, you know, being there for her emotionally, but rather than being there for her emotionally, I was unraveling this bomb.
Yeah.
And it was. Yeah, I was doing this like, no, I love you, blah, 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 blah.
But that starts to feel abusive and dangerous. But then the jealousy that you're talking about, it's nice to feel that feeling wanted, yes. Needed and wanted, like, wow, oh, that's awesome, yes.
So I think
on both, I think
there's a fine line.
There is a fine line.
And there's a way to do it tactfully.
Yes.
Now, I don't know, as a man, how a woman would feel. She's talking to a guy. And if I were to walk up to a woman and just kind of walk up to her, put my hand behind her and be like, hey, sweetie, can I get you a drink? Just to kind of like signify, this is mine. But I think it's different with men. I don't know. You'll have to tell me. So if I'm sending out those, what do you call it, body language? Like I say, when you just kind of do suddenly put your hand on a woman or a woman put their hand on you to say like that I'm with you.
Yeah.
If a man does that to a woman, well, there's another guy. So there's a guy, say I'm dating a girl, and there's a guy talking to her. And I just kind of do that to signal that she's with me. Put my hand on her, like her back, small of her back or something, and be like, sweetie, hey, sweetie, can I get you a drink? Are you good? Yeah, okay. Make it very subtle, right?
Yeah.
The other guy, a guy will, if he's a dog or if he's like sketchy in any way, he doesn't care. he'll keep on busting your move.
It's not gonna.
He'll be like, "Oh, that's your boyfriend. Oh, that's cool. Whatever. You want to get with this though? I'm a better man than him. Whatever." They come up with stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm more mad than him, or whatever. Blah blah. I'm cooler than him, right? Mm-hmm. And they keep pushing. And they keep pushing. And they keep pushing. But with a woman, and you'll have to give me your perspective. If you're a woman, no, if I'm your boyfriend and I'm talking to a woman, and you do that to me, and you just kind of run your hand on my back or something, just to kind of signal. To give a signal to the other woman that this guy's with me, will the other woman back off? Will she respect the boundaries, or will she not care either?
I think it's the same. I think it's same both genders. It doesn't really matter. I think it just depends on who that person is.
So if they're unscrupulous, they don't care either way.
Yeah, and
male
women,
or female.
and male, there is no discrimination between that. I think that I've seen men and women. I've seen good women. I've seen bad women. I've seen the same thing with good men, bad men. It's honestly, it's out there, and I'm always surprised too.
Yeah,
but I kind of feel like in guys, the dating world, it's starting to.
With guys, I feel like with guys, I feel like it's just so that animal instinct is so innate. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Especially when you feel like you're the alpha male, because there's guys that they just know they're the alpha male. They feel it. Mm-hmm. And if they know that you're there with your boyfriend, with your man, or whatever, they don't care. They'll still make the move.
And I think that there's women the same thing.
Is it really?
Definitely.
Do you call women that are the alphas? Do you call them alpha women or alpha?
No.
What do you call them? Is there a word for that?
There's so many words. I'm just kidding.
Whoa, skank,
no.
skank.
No. It's just.
I wonder, is there a woman?
Is there a woman term equivalent to alpha? Alpha male? Then Google that. Let's get some
According to Wall, alpha female means the same as alpha male, the highest ranking member of one sex with all traits and advantages associated with them. Is there any such thing as an alpha female? It's not a term you would apply to a woman. Being an alpha personality, male or female, requires a lot. What is an omega female? Ooh.
Omega.
Wow. The mega female possesses several personality traits that are commonly seen in movie characters who appear shy and reserved, but who are also passionate and intelligent.
Oh my God.
The mega female is in most situations would be seen as the introvert, kind of like the librarian, the hair up, glasses on.
Oh my God, this sounds like how all the 80s rock bands perceive, what is that? I'm hot for teacher.
Right? So
she's all reserved now, so she's like, she takes off the glasses, but she was
the omega female, but basically it's saying that alpha female. It doesn't say there's an equivalent. It's just saying alpha female. I guess there is such a thing as an alpha female.
No, be
damn. The woman who's got it going on and she gets what she wants.
I've also called them man eaters. I mean, there's so many.
The man maker.
The man maker. No. There is a subtle difference.
So like a hint of subtle jealousy could be good. It could be sexy. It could be thought-provoking.
I think it could be. I think it's nice. I think what it comes down to is that feeling of feeling wanted feels good.
But the complete opposite spectrum of it
can be
the psycho.
Dude, this is like psychopath, stalking.
Waiting down the street in your vehicle, hiding in bushes.
Now, this is where it starts to get really freaky and
scary. Scary, yeah.
For both men
sexes.
both men and women.
Yeah, I think so.
No one wants to get murdered.
Oh my God.
Jesus. Ooh. Oh, I did say that out.
And maybe we'll save that for the dating episode because, I can think of my stories and other guys have told me about freaky chicks, scary chicks. I don't know.
Oh wow!
Scary
chicks, scary dudes. There's scary dudes out there.
I don't know. So
scary
jealousy.
Scary
okay,
dudes.
Man, we've already gone all over the place. This is
I know.
It's a trip.
It's been fun though.
Okay, let me find a good segue.
All right.
Good segue. Hold on, I gotta take a drink of scotch.
All right.
This Copper Dog's really good. Hold on.
Now I'm interested to see how this is gonna work. We wanted to talk
the alpha
about
male, the alpha. Being a strong person,
okay.
Knowing what you want. I mean, could that equate to being a good leader? Boom! Segue!
Alright, I kind of feel like you're grasping at straws there.
I was going for it.
I know, you went for it. And I'm thinking, well, I suppose you have that sort of obnoxious. If you have that sort of obnoxious confidence.
I'm going to get this sticky note and I'm just going
to... Done.
So...
Sticky note complete.
So we were talking about this guy that used his feces to dig out of an ice cave. Mm-hmm. And okay, so we live like in the 21st century, 2021. We don't live in the 1900s anymore, or the 20th century, which was like, because even I don't know.
I always refer
you think about people that were explorers. You think about people that went out, conquered the world. They were in the Congo, the dark heart of Africa. They were going to the Arctic. And then you go back to the 19th century, the 18th century, the 17th. Think about in the 17th century, which is like the 1600s. Okay. People traveling across the ocean, not knowing if they're going to follow off the edge of the earth. And that's a whole different conversation, falling off the edge of the earth and flat earthers.
Flat earthers.
I do want to talk about that at some point because that's ridiculous. But anyways, you talk about like, so 16, we're 19, so what is that, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Yeah, that's 400 years ago. 400 or 500 years ago.
I'm kind of feeling where you're trying to go with this.
So
you're trying to say
400 or 500 years ago. So you had people that went, like in the Western civilization, we talk about civilization as it relates to the Western civilization. Europe, England, the Dutch, Portuguese, Spanish, Rome, Mediterranean. These were all what we call known civilizations. Not to say that there weren't civilizations in Asia, India, Central America. There obviously there's people there. You have the Olmecs, the Inca, the Japanese. You know what I mean? There's all these the empires everywhere around the world. But the known civilization, according to the Western civilization, is the Europeans. Right? So the Europeans go out to conquer the world, and they go out to the wild, go out to lands unknown and unseen. You know what I mean? They go across the oceans in wooden ships, which by today's standards are small. When you compare a wooden ship to like the cruise liners today are monsters, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever been on a cruise liner?
No,
they're
but
huge.
I've seen them. I mean, in real life, even.
They're huge,
I've never
right?
been on one though.
But a wooden
my ear
ship.
Gonna fall off. Okay.
Don't let your ear fall off.
Dude, I know.
That's like a party foul right there.
Right there?
Yeah.
You think?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you have these wooden ships, which are wind powered. So if there's no wind, you're not going anywhere, right?
You're just like stuck.
And I don't know how fast they went compared to cruise liners, but I don't think they would go as fast. You know what I mean? So it's like the adventure. It's like the adventure of adventures. You're going off to a foreign land. Suddenly you see somebody that you consider to be a savage. You don't call them a people. You don't call it a civilization or an empire. You just call them like, oh, they're these wild savages and they're coming out in loincloth and blah, blah, blah. And, spears and arrows. And here we are with gunpowder on these massive ships. Do you know what I mean?
So where is the connection? Are these leaders or are these just adventurers?
I think it's a little bit of both, right?
Are adventurers and leaders the same?
Because I think of this guy that we were talking about. I lost his name.
Because I think that sometimes there has to be a little bit of not sanity, but I think that you have to have risk takers in this world, and without risk takers, I mean, you have to have people who think outside the box.
Well, okay, I think of this guy, Peter Freuchen. He's a Dutch traveler.
Okay.
Now, and you want to talk about the great expanse, the Arctic. I mean, the Inuit live out there, but there's really not a lot of people who live in these frozen tundras. Mm-hmm. Very little vegetation, no vegetation, wild animals like polar bears or whatever, right? But there's these men that they had an innate drive within them. You mean, like, think about it. Like, for you to, like, say, I'm going to go explore, and I'm going to lead this group of men to somewhere that we've never gone, somewhere that we've never explored. We don't know there's going to be food there, right?
I think that sometimes insanity can look like brilliance. But have we ever thought that maybe sometimes insanity... No, I'm thinking about this. I'm thinking about what you're saying, this explorer. And sometimes, in hindsight, when something is like delivered and succeeds, you might actually kind of start to think that that person was brilliant. But
I think
many times, so many probably moments along the way, it could have gone really bad. And if it would have, he would have been insane.
I think there was a lot of leaders in history that were bad leaders because maybe they had money, because they had land, because they were royalty. So they had the title, which gave them power, but maybe they weren't the best leaders, right?
Yeah, and I think that just because you can maybe be in a position of power doesn't necessarily make you a leader.
Right. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I mean, but you look at past leaders and you look at current leaders.
Mm-hmm.
What is the common denominator? I don't know. Because I was really trying to, if you go online now, you type in leadership.
Mm-hmm.
Leadership skills, leadership this, leadership that. Right now, you get a whole list of things. Lord knows there's been a lot of men that were soldiers, Marines, Navy SEALs. They've written books. I always refer to Jocko Willink because I like his teachings. How he talks about leadership. You have all sorts of people that have traits of leadership. I mean, you can find tons of stuff. Like I have this. Well, I don't know if this book's about being a leader. It's called Unleashed: Live an Extraordinary Life. I want to read it. It's going to be my next read.
Oh,
it's
nice.
called Unleashed. Dominate your limitations, break through your barriers, live an extraordinary life. I'm going to check this out. It's by Jerome Wade, and maybe in about a week or two, because I'm not that I'm a slow reader. I just don't have a lot of time to read, right? But I don't know. I think about, like I say, I went online and I went to a couple of different websites, and I just wanted to pick out 2 or 3 things.
Okay.
What was the common denominator amongst these different websites that talk about leadership that made a good leader? And there was like 3 things that kind of stood out.
Okay.
All right, to be a good leader. One was communication.
Okay.
That was like the number one in like.
Well, that makes sense in everything.
Like, and as a matter of fact, I went to a lot of websites. That was like almost number one on most of them.
Yeah. Communication.
Then I kind of had to like dig down because they all had like 10 things of a good leader, 10 points, 10 traits, whatever. And they all some of them had a lot of them. Like some of them had similar traits. But the 3 things that I kind of picked out amongst a couple of different websites was communication, like number 1.
Well, and that I believe that's true.
Motivation.
Okay.
Motivation was always on the list somewhere.
Motivation to motivate yourself or motivate others?
Play good music and you're the best. You're the best. I don't know.
Oh man.
Okay, and then the third thing was lead by example. Lead by example wasn't on every list, but it was on enough lists that I thought, and it may have been worded differently, but it was kind of common enough that I was like, okay, lead by example.
I like that.
So
there was something
you think about some of the greatest people in history. What did they do? I don't know. I always think about who was the guy that conquered Mexico? Cortez. Cortez conquered the Aztecs, right? Who knows if he was a great communicator? I don't know. But he had 200 men against millions of natives. Obviously, he had to motivate his men.
Obviously, I think that was more strategic. He was.
Well, how did he motivate his men to conquer the Aztecs? Promises of riches, right?
Okay.
And not only that, he burned the ships. He said, "We're either going to live or we're going to die." That may not be exact words.
Maybe it just became
But how did he motivate his men?
We
can't go back home.
Survive.
There's no way for us to get out of here.
Yeah.
He's like, how do I motivate my men? Boom, ship's gone. We're going to live. All right? And lead by example. Well, Cortez was a warrior. He was actually a soldier. So he was in there in the thick of it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And that's like an example from long ago. I think of like somebody like Teddy Roosevelt. Again, he had a way of motivating his men, but he was also in the thick of it, the Rough Riders. He was living on the frontier. He wanted to experience that. So when he spoke to people about the wild, the frontier,
so the
being an
leading
American,
by example.
right? You know what I mean? He led by example, right? So he led by example. You can think of a lot of historical leaders. George Washington, he's out there at the frontier. Eisenhower, General D-Day, was in the military. Think about, I think there's a lot of people a lot of leaders that when they ask their subordinates, the people that are following them, whatever, when they ask them to do something, it's like, don't ask somebody to do something that either A, you haven't done, or B, you're not willing to do.
Absolutely.
Yourself. You know what I mean?
And I absolutely agree with that.
Right. You know what I mean?
A leader is someone that is willing, honestly, to be in there at push comes to shove. You're going to be in the thick of it with your folks.
You have to put in the time. You can't ask people.
Don't ask people to do something you wouldn't do yourself. Honestly,
Right.
I've always liked that.
Right.
I've always respected my leaders when they've done that. Aww.
So, but yeah, like somebody that's willing to go through it also, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's just super important as a leader. Like, you could be the top of a company, but you can still get in the trenches from time to time. And I'm not saying you have to be in the trenches all the time.
No,
when you're a leader, you can't be. You have to
delegate.
Yeah.
You have to be able to tell your
delegating was on a lot of lists too, because I really debated that. I was like, it's a delegate.
Honestly, you can't really lead without delegating, because
right.
you have to be able to trust in your folks. But at the same time, I also feel
that's a really good point.
You have to.
Can I wrap around that?
Yeah, trust in your people.
Trust in your people. It's like trust. If you don't trust the person that's working for you, that is your second in command, if you don't trust that person, then that's not the right person. Mm-hmm. It may not mean you're the right leader, but the person that either you don't have enough experience with that person to form that trust, or it's just not there. And if it's just not there, I think at some point you have to make the decision to part ways.
Yeah.
And I think, and that might be another trait of a leadership, making the hard decisions, right?
Well, you're not always going to be the popular person when you're leading a team.
I want to be
popular.
popular.
You have to, but you also have to see the big picture. I mean, yeah, you're looking at the small task, but you have to look at the goal. You have to look at the overall big picture.
Right, absolutely, right.
Mm-hmm.
You have to, and so like I'm just I wanted to come up with these tenets of like what makes a good leader, right? Mm-hmm. And that's why like people like Jocko Willink, that's why he really speaks to me, because he's definitely a man that's been in the trenches. He was a SEAL. He went through all the training. He started from the bottom, just like everybody. Like everybody that's like in the SEALs, even the Marines, they all have to go through the same They all have boot camp. They all have to go through these same experiences. And I'm not saying that that's the only way. I'm not saying that soldiers are the best leaders all the time. I'm not saying you have to be a soldier to be a leader, but I do like that attributes that makes you a good leader, right?
Yeah.
I like that example that like the military sets. You know what I mean? I think that they're just good attributes. But is that the only thing? No. I'm trying to look up this. I'm trying to look up. There was a list. So Jocko Willink wrote a book called Extreme Ownership. U.S. Navy SEALs Lead and Win. Obviously, they have a program that works. Do you know what I mean? And so he writes a book about his experiences on leadership, what works and all that. And it's called Extreme Ownership. I freaking love that.
Extreme ownership.
Think about that. As a leader, extreme ownership. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's never about pointing the blame to anyone. And this is something I've experienced. Mm-hmm. Like when something's not working that may have pre-existed, that predated me, I still don't want to point the fingers.
But no, and I totally understand what you're saying. I think maybe extreme ownership also comes down with there's a problem,
Right.
And I don't. And you're not trying to. I love that blame storm. You're not trying to blame storm.
Blame storm. What a good.
Blame storm. You're not trying to blame storm.
I feel like Oprah, and you're a problem, and you're a problem.
But at the same time, you can't fix what happened, and you don't want to go into a blame storm where your employees are feeling afraid.
Right.
You have to correct it.
You
have to deliver the right information. You have to build them. You have to build them up. You have to give them the skill to not let it happen again.
So, from extreme ownership, there's leadership lessons from extreme ownership. He has 12 points. Let me just read them. So, number 1 is extreme ownership.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Number 2 is there's no bad teams. There's only bad leaders.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3 is you have to believe.
Oh man, I believe.
I believe.
I was saying it, dude. I want to
fly. Number 4 is check your ego. Love that.
Oh,
That's
love
good,
that.
right?
That is powerful.
It is good.
I love it.
Check
your ego.
Check your ego.
Ooh.
I haven't read the book.
Sometimes people need to hear that. I love it.
The number 5 is cover and move. You know what I mean? And the way he relates that to it refers to the principle of the Navy SEALs about the troops that provide cover fire for the rest of the team while the rest of the team passes forward when they exchange roles. So what it relates to is cover work. So cover fire is like for you to advance, this team is laying down cover fire, so this team can advance.
And then
this lays cover fire, then this team advances. So it relates to teamwork and how critical teamwork is. Cover and move.
I like that.
You like that? Simple. Keep things simple. Simplify your mission.
Yeah.
Okay. Prioritize and execute. And I think in the business world, in life, there's like when you're in a leadership role, there's like 1,000 things going on.
Oh yeah. Totally.
So you have to prioritize. Okay,
absolutely.
Good. And I think this next one relates to delegating, but decentralized command. You know, human beings are generally not capable of managing more than 6 to 10 people effectively. Okay, so eventually you delegate, decentralized command. Number 9, this is important, plan. Good plan, and he has characteristics of good planning, which I'm not going to get into, but planning, super important. I think any project you go on, you kind of have to have a plan. Who's going to do what?
Absolutely.
Number 10, leading up and down the chain of command. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
What was going on with the valves there?
Like I almost thought for a minute, are we having an earthquake? Like, is this how it starts?
So, what leading up and down the command means is like what he says is it is paramount that senior leaders explain to their junior leaders and the troops or employees executing the mission how their contribution contributes to the big picture. So, if you're a high-level manager, you don't want to just talk to the people here. You want to talk to these people here, let them know what they're doing is important and that it contributes to the big picture so they feel like they're a part of it.
I agree with that because I think people tend to forget
How
their role because it's all like the circle. The way I look at the circle of life. And honestly, one person, by you not doing that one part, it affects someone else's part. It's kind of like you're handing off the ball. And
think about it, like how many times are you a leader and you have like another level of management below you, whether it's a supervisor or junior management or something, and then you have the people that they oversee, you know, and then you might have the receptionist over here. You might even have the file clerk. How often do you, as the leader up here, stop and say hi to them, say thank you for what you're doing? Man, what you're doing is super important. Man, you're the receptionist. People see you. I really appreciate what you're doing. And letting them, just kind of making them feel good about what they're doing, and just telling them what they do is important.
Yeah.
I think that's super important. Here's a good one, number 12, and this is the last one. Discipline equals freedom, the dichotomy of leadership. Every leader walks a fine line and must be, and he gives a number of points of what every leader must be. Every leader must be confident but not cocky, courageous but not foolhardy, competitive but not a gracious loser, competitive but a gracious loser, attentive to details. A leader must be a leader and follower. So he has like all these things: quiet, not silent; logical, not robotic. That's really good. Logical, but not robotic.
Yeah, honestly, I could argue.
How many times have you been given a job, and you go through it like robotically? Okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do a spreadsheet. I'm gonna do this. Da-da, and you just gotta go through it. And how often do you like look at it and you're like, that's not right? You know what I mean? And you're like, you need to think about it logically. Why are we doing this? This is not right. This doesn't work. And when do you actually speak up about it and be like, we can do A, is it necessary, or B, can we do it better? Be logical, right?
I think that sometimes being robotic can be very dangerous, and you did hit the nail on the head there. I think that sometimes when employees get complacent in the tasks that they're doing, I think that they aren't being creative. I think that sometimes because they're doing their job. But one of the things
like
that
when you stymie
sometimes need
creativity, it's like death.
It is, and sometimes like when you're just being robotic, it's like at some point you realize like question like why is it being done this way? Right. Can we not do it better?
Yeah.
And honestly, like question. I mean, I'm not trying to be chaotic but if you don't question things and if you don't know why we're doing things a certain way, like. You really can't. You have to be creative. You have to be creative. Think outside the box.
I'm not trying to segue here.
But
I had a conversation with somebody, and I was talking about leadership today. Today, like this mid-morning.
Okay.
Like.
Boom. It's all working out.
Bam.
The universe. This is what we're supposed to talk about today.
Manifestation. So I was talking about this guy and about he's finding a new place and. His partner was living blah blah blah, and I was talking about was listening about the relationship and all that. Oh, that's cool. And I said, being a good leader is a lot of things. You come to work, you take the initiative and get stuff done. You help your staff and da da da. But I go, how many times? And I was telling you this. How many times did you ever think about what it takes to be a leader in your life? And make hard decisions so that you're living the life you want to live. Whether you're dating somebody you shouldn't be dating them, or and being the leader and being like, look, this is not working. Whether making a decision like I want to upgrade, like there's so many different ways, but being bold enough to be the leader in your own life. How many people just kind of go with the flow because it's easy? They don't want to make waves. They don't want to hurt somebody's feelings. They don't want to do this, and they're not the leader of their own life.
That's a really good way of not actually no, this is actually a pretty good message
it's
because I
profound,
think that,
right?
Yeah, totally. Because we're talking about leadership skills, and it's all about business. But when you can grasp that you can apply this to your own personal life,
right?
It's it can change your life.
Oh, absolutely, right? Be the leader of your life. So we're talking about being leaders, right?
Yeah.
And you want to be a good leader. Like the most common traits are communication, motivating, leading by examples, and some of this other stuff that Jocko Willings talks about extreme ownership, owning it. And we apply it to work, we apply it to our projects. Maybe you play on a sports team and you apply it to your teammates and come on guys, we can do this, blah, blah, blah. A lot of rugby, you know what I mean? And had experience meetings, being able to see guys out there and watch them lead. And it's like, oh, what a good leader. But how many times do people take those experiences and apply it to their personal life, to them, and be the leader of their life?
And I also feel like with this, you should talk about that link that you sent me. It was amazing. And I think that it applies to this because totally, I loved it because a lot of it is self-care. But in order for you to be successful in your life, you have to apply some of these things to your life. So you can start to think different, whether it's work, whether it's personal.
This was on Instagram.
I don't care. It's amazing.
And Jeanette,
because I like stuff like that.
I think the world needs to tell Jeanette, hey, it's time to get an Instagram account, Jeanette.
Damn it.
I mean, are you even on Facebook yet?
No. But
okay. Oh, Jeanette, are you still on MySpace?
No.
Jeanette, honestly, do you still have a MySpace account? To be honest.
I do not. I promise. I am on Snapchat though.
Oh, you are. Ooh, how mischievous. You have it on Snapchat where things disappear. Oh, God. But I subscribe to a lot of motivational stuff, leadership stuff on Instagram. And there's a lot of people putting good messages out there. I'm not going to say there isn't, because there really is.
Make a promise.
Promise what?
I will open up an Instagram account this week.
Oh, no, let's manifest it. Make it happen, dude.
It will. It will happen. If anything.
But I sent you a picture from Instagram, and I kind of chopped it up, but it says how to improve. Now, I'm not going to go through all of them because there's 36 points.
Oh yeah, there's a lot. It was really good. I liked it.
But you know what's funny is a number of them I've seen before, like on what successful people do. Like one of them meditate.
I like that. I wish I could do that more.
There was one post I wrote about like a lot of good leaderships meditate for the first 5 minutes of their day when they wake up. They meditate right away, just getting the right mindset. Now, when I wake up, I'm stupidly incoherent.
Yeah, I'm.
You know.
I'm kind of borderline both. Yeah. I'm gonna write really well.
It's like I don't even know where my head is. If I get dressed too early, my buttons are all off, like by 3 buttons. Like I'm a mess. I'm a mess.
Oh my God.
It's like what? Like, hey Mark, what's going on? Like it's like I'm a caveman in the morning. Like the first 5 minutes of the day, like, hey Mark, what's going on? Like I'm just grunts and happens. Like food, you know. But like maybe we'll read a couple of these, right?
Yes.
So number 1 was meditate, which I thought was good. Number 2, setting goals, and I think we've talked about that.
Yes, we did.
And I think what's important about setting goals is not just thinking about it, but actually like writing your goals down, putting them on a whiteboard. Do something, right? Mm-hmm. But set goals. We kind of touched a little bit about this. But it's super important. My buddy Levi he's told me this once a long time ago, but it was read daily.
I like that.
And what he said was like, you can have one mentor, one leadership, and you can learn from one person, right? Mm-hmm. Or you can read 10 books from 10 leaders, and you can have 10 teachers.
I like that.
You know what I mean? Read daily. Number 4, judge less, which I think is good.
I think that too.
I think judging less goes hand in hand with being grateful, but maybe it's on here. I don't know. Number 5 is eat healthy.
Yeah.
Dude, I had to talk with a manager today about like being healthy, and we had this long conversation about like losing weight, and she was like, my doctor said the only way to eat. How do I lose weight? And he said, close your mouth. And she goes, how rude. I was like, but it's kind of true. I told her, you know, calories.
And I think that's
sugar.
Yeah.
Cut sugar out of your diet. I think cutting sugar out of your diet is probably the one single healthiest thing you can do. And yeah, people are having cake, have a slice of cake. You know what I mean?
I think that's something that honestly I do like that, because I think that go on and we can circle back to that, which I like.
Number 6, love yourself. Jeanette, do you love yourself?
I do love myself.
Do you really love yourself?
I do.
Jeanette.
It's taken a long time, but yeah.
Do you give yourself a hug in the morning? No. Okay,
no, that's just weird.
Number 7, wake. Okay, number 7, I'm bad for. Wake up early.
Oh God!
Jesus Christ!
I'm still struggling with that.
We did this thing where we were like doing accountability buddies to help each other wake up.
We're both terrible.
Dude, it sucked.
Okay, so I did. You see, my whole purpose was I still try to get exercise here and there, but it's so inconsistent. The mornings work best for me because you feel so good in the morning, but it's just so inconsistent that I'm still working on it. I'm trying to build that habit.
Start a journal. I do a lot of journaling, and I do it haphazardly. I'll do it in this journal, that journal, this journal. You read in history about a lot of people like Thomas Jefferson. Mm-hmm. They have all those journals in the Library of Congress. He would talk about stuff like the weather. There's like day to day. Like there's surprisingly a lot of important people did a lot of journaling.
I used to journal like long.
Now, when you say journal, you say like Dear Diary?
Dear Diary.
Oh, dear diary, I felt love today, and I acted
Today
a
was
little jealous.
day.
I got a dick pic, and somebody commented about it, and I was a little bit jealous about it, but you like how I just wrapped everything up? Do you like how I wrapped it? You like how I wrapped everything up?
And I'm like,
I didn't have the dolphins.
That is so terrible.
Quit a bad habit, ask for feedback, learn a new skill, believe in yourself, start a new routine, plan a new strategy, learn how to invest. Don't make excuses.
Yeah, I love that one because I honestly, that one speaks to me.
You know what?
I need to not make excuses, which I really like this.
You know, the first time I stopped making excuses, right? Let me pull this up.
Do you remember the date?
I was in college.
Back in. Don't make excuses.
You know, I was in college. This girl recommended this book to me, and I didn't read the whole book. I read like the first chapter, and it just hit me. It hit me like a ton of bricks. It's a book called The Road Less Traveled by Dr. Stephen Peck. And it kind of is funny because it goes hand in hand with Jocko Willink's of Extreme Ownership.
Oh.
And he talks about like you have to face the facts that things are like when something's your fault, it's your fault. Like, and the prime example he gave, which kind of really spoke to me, was like, I think it was like something like, if a cop pulls you over for speeding, you get angry at the cop. Why did the cop pull you over speeding? Like, oh man, why did he have to get me? Like, it's a cop's fault.
Yeah.
The cop's doing his job. He's enforcing the speed limit.
That's taking ownership of what you did.
It's like, yeah, I was speeding. And then you go to court and you're mad because you have to pay the ticket. Like, this is stupid. Dude, you were speeding.
Yeah.
It's your fault. And that's funny because that really spoke to me because I was a stupid kid and I would speed, I would stop signs, I was just so dumb. But, like, take ownership, right? And stop making excuses. So, you know, you do a paper and you turn it in late and you get a 0 for it because you turned it in late.
But then you blame everyone else but yourself.
Right.
Because
my teacher was being stupid. I turned it in. Well, he said not to turn it in late. Well, yeah, but I told him I was going to be late. You turned it in late.
Your teacher told you not to turn it in late.
Right?
Regardless,
you
it's
think
still
about
late.
everything that can apply there, right?
I love that.
Don't
make excuses. 17.
Stop procrastinating, and I'm not going to talk about that. Review your finances. I feel like we could do a whole thing on finances.
And I think I think that we're already planning on doing something like that.
Are we really?
Are we?
You know what?
We should. We should get an expert.
I think we should.
I'm not like terrible at finances, but I think there's always room for
when you go to college, there's mandatory classes you have to take. Viewing the world, prerequisites. Mm-hmm. I think basic finance should be a prerequisite for everybody.
Yeah.
Doing budgets, stuff like that. Focusing on the positive. I think that's me.
I love that.
I think that is who I am. Focus on the positive, you son of a bitch. Be positive.
And I like change your attitude.
Change your attitude.
If you you can wake up and being in a bad. You can wake up in a bad mood, but honestly, sometimes if you like change your attitude in the morning, it actually helps.
The rest. I don't know how many times people are having a bad day. You ever get anger management, right? Anger management,
Adam Sandler.
Dude, you gotta watch it. Anger management, Adam Sandler and Jack.
Is it Jack Black?
No.
No. I know you're talking about. You're talking about Jack Nicholson.
Nicholson, thank you. And whenever they get angry, he always says goose faba. And there's some guys that get angry in it, and they're like, oh, goose faba. So whenever somebody like having a bad day or they're getting frustrated, I always tell them goose faba. They're always like, dude, you're so stupid. And as soon as somebody it's funny. As soon as somebody tells me that, like, dude, you're so stupid, they have like a smile on their face, and it changes their attitude. So I always make it a point to tell people, like, and maybe, like, there are some weirdos like you that have never watched it.
Okay.
But whenever, like, they'll be like,
me.
They're like, huh? Like, you ever see Anger Management? Then I get them to watch Anger Management and they get it. But I always tell them, goose faba. You have to watch Anger Management.
Okay.
Learning new languages is good. I've always known Spanish, but I'm really making a point to really learn it. Focus on one day at a time. Mm-hmm. Question your purpose. You know what's funny? You don't do that until you get older. I don't think there's an 18-year-old, 21-year-old, 25-year-old that's partying, seeing like hitting on chicks, having a couple of drinks. I don't think there's anybody at that age questioning their purpose. Not until later in life.
Yeah, but if I could give some advice.
Jeanette, give some advice.
One day the party's gonna end.
Whoa!
It does end. And yeah.
Jeanette, does the party have to end?
Dude, the party ends at some point. You just have to create another one.
So, what would you tell me? Has that party ended for me? You guys don't know this, but I've been on a hard 3-week-ish partying streak. I don't know.
You have. You have. But you look like you're having a lot of fun. So
I've been having amazing. But you know what? I'm getting to work.
Yeah.
I've been very effective. I don't complain about sleep. I get the job done.
Are you questioning your purpose at this point, though?
No, I'm not.
No. Okay.
I'm not. But I think people don't question their purpose till later on in life.
You know, it just to kind of like stall out here for a minute.
I think it takes a certain maturity. I don't say maturity. I say maturity.
Maturity. Crevasse. Maturity. Crevasse.
Hold on. I'm gonna stick my pinky out while I drink this.
Crevasse. No, but no. Let me stop there. You know, we were talking about earlier how we had all of these post-its of like things like, oh, we probably should not talk about that. But at the end of the day, we're talking about leadership. Okay, but you know, one of the things that I think is super important, like when you can have fun, you can you can enjoy life. You can be a solid leader, enjoy life, and enjoying life doesn't mean taking a big trip, going somewhere fancy. I mean, if that's your thing, do it. But I also think that if people who've watched us enough. Hopefully, more than just our friends.
They watch 5 minutes and we're like, okay, and we are done. End scene, done.
I know, but no, I think it's important to have fun, not take yourself too serious.
Right.
But it doesn't mean because you can have fun and not take yourself too serious.
It's funny you say that.
Doesn't mean that you are not a person who's trying to improve your life.
There was a point in my life where I thought I took myself way too serious.
Really?
Serious. I just said serious. Serious.
I like it. We're like changing the English
language. Crevasse. Serious. And what was the last word we just said? Maturity. Maturity. So, no, I think there was a point in my life where I did take things too serious. And it's funny because positive energy attracts people. People want to be around things that are positive.
Yeah.
And I think I was so serious, my vibes were almost like negative-ish, and people didn't want to be around that.
Your vibe attracts your tribe.
Right?
Totally.
Okay.
All right, continue.
Question your purpose. Don't compare yourself. That's good. And keeping up with the Joneses.
Don't keep up with the Joneses. Honestly, that's terrible.
Be happy.
Yes.
Be happy.
I like that.
No. Hey, no. Be like the hippo. Happy as a hippo. Happy as a hippo.
Happy as a hippo.
Where's that from? Along Came Polly.
Dude,
Have you heard? Do you know about the hippo? Be like the hippo. What's a hippo? The hippo wanted to be happy, so he painted his stripes like him to be a zebra, but he was not happy. And I can't remember how else he described it. Then the hippo said, "Hey, I'm just gonna be a hippo. I'll be happy as a hippo."
You're freaking talking about Ben Stiller.
Yes.
And, it was like Jennifer
Oh my
Aniston.
God, I love that. That girl from who was that other pretty girl?
Jennifer Aniston.
No, there's another one, the skinny one.
Jennifer Aniston isn't skinny?
No, hold on.
Skinny one?
Along came, dude.
Adding
a computer tool to this was the best thing that ever happened.
Yeah, because we've been drinking here in the
Google. We're drinking sophisticated drinks with friends. Okay, that's what we're doing.
Don't take yourself
Get
too
it straight.
serious.
We're having sophisticated. I'm looking to see who that other actress was. That was Ben Stiller, Lisa Kramer. Yeah, Lisa Kramer. She played in in a sitcom. I hate myself for not knowing, and now I have to look up because you're gonna know who she is, and you're gonna be like, "Oh, she's so cute."
Aww.
No, it wasn't Lisa Kramer. Dude, now I feel I'm killing it here. Along Came Polly. What do you call it? Cast. cast.
Okay.
I have to tell you who this person is. Okay. Deborah Messing.
Oh yes.
What was Deborah Messing in?
She was in that one show.
Yes.
What the heck was it?
Come on, Jeanette. Think about it.
Dude, I know it.
I don't feel like you know.
Dang it.
Movies and TV shows. I'm looking it up because I feel like Will and Grace.
Will and Grace, yes.
Yes. For that, I get another scotch. Will and Grace. Deborah, she's cute, but she was the one that cheated. She was the one that cheated. So, anyways, okay, going to our list because we're getting off topic here.
Totally.
Don't compare yourself. Automate and delegate. There you go.
Yes,
Delegate again.
delegate.
Acknowledge your flaws.
Yes, I like that.
I like that. Identify your blind spots. That's interesting.
You see, that one had me thinking because I'm like,
What did you think about that? We're not talking about driving, are we?
No, but have you ever felt that you've ever like?
No. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Damn it! Have you ever felt like you've ever like gotten blindsided?
Is that how you took it? When
by not identifying my blind spot?
Okay.
I've got like blindsided or
usually
something just came out of nowhere. Maybe I really need to understand.
Usually in regards to personal relationships, I think. But okay.
Well, no, I've been blindsided in business, but yeah,
You're
I've
a terrible leader.
Yeah, you're right. Well, I thought it was fantastic.
Leave your comfort zone.
I love that one. That is something I need to challenge
classic
myself.
Mark.
I need to challenge myself to do that.
Beyond outside of my comfort zone, and you know it for the last forever. We can talk about that later. Change your social circle, which I think is important.
I like that.
That's important because there's a Spanish saying.
What is that?
It says, "Dime con quién anda y digo con quién eres." Tell me who you hang out with, and I'm going to tell you who you are. So there's another English saying that says, "You are a composition of your 5 closest friends."
I have a few social circles, but they are not all the same.
Right.
Like
so
my crews are all different from one
you're
another.
You're a combination of all of your circles, right?
I think that you can get a little bit out of
everything,
and I think that it might be
If you're the top dog in your social circle, you're not growing. So there's a.
I didn't know I was trying to dominate my social circle.
Right, but there's a saying that says when you're on the top of your ladder, you're usually on the bottom of somebody else's. So if you're on the top of your ladder in your social circle, you're no longer growing because you're on top of the ladder. But if you're on the bottom of the ladder in another social circle, you have a lot to gain from these people because they've gone to a whole nother level.
Interesting.
Change your social circle, right?
Okay.
See failure as an opportunity. I think that is quintessential.
You have to learn from your mistakes.
Learn from your mistakes.
Obviously.
And you cannot get angry. You have to think about it, right?
Mm-hmm. Follow an exercise routine. That was one that I'm still trying to work on. You've nailed this one.
I haven't, but follow. Make a business bucket list. That's good.
I've never done that one, but I like that.
I'm gonna start selling cookies. Lemonade.
Start
start being more organized. This is tough because you know what's funny is a lot of it really intelligent people and smart people, leaders. They have so much going on. It's hard for them to be organized. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And usually their environment is a result of the way they think.
Mm-hmm. Because they're thinking fast, but they're leaving.
It's like I heard this thing about people that stutter. It doesn't apply to all people that stutter, but some people that stutter because their brain goes so fast that their mouth can't keep up with it. So kind of the same concept, right? You're so disorganized because you have so much going on. But it doesn't mean you should not focus on trying to stay organized. That's kind of good. Okay. Watch educational videos. I do that. That's good. Quit things that aren't working.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that could apply to relationships. And write a letter to your future self.
I love that one.
I think about how I met your mother, Marshall. I hope you still have your rat tail and you're still rocking overalls.
I would you know what? If anything, I'm going to write a letter to myself.
Let's write letters to our future selves. All Dear right. Mark, you're pretty awesome. And
Dear awesome.
Dear awesome.
Dear awesome.
Dear awesome.
You are killing it.
You are killing it, and you are an awesome leader.
Can you imagine how you never know how your life is going to change in 5-10 years? Then maybe you need to hear that.
There was a book And it's funny that you say 5-10 years, right?
Yeah.
There was a book, it was called 5. And I remember when me and my buddy Levi, when we first saw it, it's called 5. 5. And it's a book specifically on writing your goals and where you're going to be in 5 years.
Yes.
Who's going to get you there? What's it going to take for you to be there? And I just think it's so super important. Because if you're not, it's like the Chinese. Our nation changes course from every president to every president. If a president changes in 4 years, it changes courses in 4 years. If a president's in office for 8 years, that means every 8 years is changing, right? Because usually, very rarely does it mean, is it one president to the next or on the same, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The same idea, is the same path. So, the Chinese, they have this thing, they have like this 50-year...
Reign.
No, it's like...
what are you talking about? Like 50-year...
Where they have a 50-year plan. So, where they're trying to steer the nation in 50 years.
50
so it
years.
Now, granted, in China, there's a dictator. He's in office for his whole life. Blah 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 blah. So it's easy to keep your country focused on that goal. But you have a 50-year plan saying we're here now. We're gonna be here in 50 years. So it's a long-term plan with long-term goals for greatness. Now, in our lives, we don't have 50 years in our lives. I mean, you probably have like 5 years. You know, I don't know. But
yeah, like 5 years. Years.
What is your long-term plan? Where are you going to be in 5 years? You know, you could even say like, where do I want to? Like people think, okay, this summer I'm going to go on vacation. I want to go to California, go to Hawaii, whatever, right? Mm-hmm. Short-term goals. We save up money. We take the flight. Blah 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 blah. Cool. Whatever. Most people will even think in a year in advance. Next year, I want to take my kids to Disneyland. Next year, I want to buy my first house. Mm-hmm. How often do you say, like, in 5 years, what do I want to do in 5 years? How often do you think, Jesus, where do I want to be in 10 years? Do I want to retire early? Do I want to be at my next job? Do I want to be 10 times more successful? If I'm making this much money, I want to make that much money, and I'll have, like, 3 cars. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, how often have you thought that far in advance?
50 years?
Years.
Jeez Louise.
Scotch is going so good.
I mean, the most I can think about is like obviously like planning for retirement.
Do you really plan for retirement?
You know, I'm kind of like, I'm not gonna lie.
Do you think of retirement, or do you think of like, I'm gonna go hit it and quit it this weekend, and then in like 3 months I'm gonna go take a trip? Or maybe
if you don't plan for it, I mean, obviously, I think that is a long-term plan because you wouldn't be putting money towards it long-term.
I think the majority of people don't think about retirement, or they think about retirement. Oh, I want to retire, but are you actually putting a plan in place?
And putting money
I'm gonna save 10% of my money.
Yes, you got to. You have to put money away for retirement.
You know what's funny?
You're not always going to be this age. You have to think ahead.
It was about 3 years ago, I started getting to a point where I was starting to save money and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. So during the COVID season when I lost my job, it was like the first time in my life where I didn't have a job, but I wasn't worried about money.
Because you had saved money?
I went through tons of money. I wasn't smart about it, but I actually had a plan. Like when I lost my job and I did my finances, I was actually thinking, God, I can go a year without working. I've never in umpteen years of my life thought I could do that. I was always working like, oh my God, I gotta pay checks, I gotta pay this bill, blah 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 blah. And granted, I'm thinking about that now, but during that period when I lost my job in COVID, it wasn't an issue. It was like, okay, all I was thinking was like, I'm gonna go buy groceries, I'll pay my bill, and maybe I won't do anything tomorrow. I'll go to the gym. And then I started thinking ahead, like, okay, I don't have my job, but I can make money. I'm gonna go do my side hustle. I started doing a side hustle, started making money again, and it's just funny. I wasn't stressed.
That's good though.
At all. It was.
And not many people think ahead like that.
Bizarre. B with a capital B.
Capital B. Bizarre.
So I don't know. So kind of weird, but yeah, you know what I mean? Like goodness. I know.
Okay.
So the number 36, we read through all 36. How to improve. Write a letter to yourself. We should write letters to ourselves.
I like that. I want to write a letter to myself. Hey, badass bitch.
So.
Just kidding.
Whoa.
I know.
Whoa.
Right? You killed it today.
Hey, jealous badass dick, pretty dick loving bitch.
What?
Whoa. Talk about wrapping everything in today except the dolphins. Wrapping it all up today. So I don't know.
Don't take yourself too serious.
I love that.
Have fun. Because that's what this show is about. Having fun.
We have fun. And again.
Don't take yourself too serious.
It's not that it's about alcohol, but I think friends could come together, enjoy a drink, and enjoy their time together, right?
But also, we have a message about leadership, and I think that's important because for people, obviously, I don't
think this is going to be the last show about leadership.
No, I think that we should continue to do that because
let's wrap it around
these things are.
I'm looking at my sticky notes.
Things that we talk about and face on a daily basis.
I was throwing sticky notes everywhere.
Dude, I know you're throwing them.
But you know what? I'm kind of going back today, leadership. Not everybody's going to be a leader. Maybe at work or whatever. There always has to be worker bees, and it's being respectful. What's funny is even when you're a leader, you always have to take a step back and let other people lead. I know. I feel like I'm a leader in many different areas of my life. But when I play rugby, I recognize that there's people that are leaders out there, and I kind of keep my mouth shut. Because I realize, hey, that guy knows what he's doing. He might be faster than me, he might be better than me, he might understand the gameplay, but I keep my mouth shut. There's a lot of times as a lead, I feel like I'm a leader in my life, but there's a lot of times I'm in situations where I realize, keep your mouth shut and just listen. I think about everything we talk about, like communications, motivation, lead by example. And for me, leading by example is a big one.
Well, for me, it's also learn from your mistakes. Look at failure as an opportunity to improve.
I was going to make it funny. Did you see it in my face?
I know. I was like, Mark.
But I think, what was that? There was one on there about being content with your life. Mm-hmm. Not keeping up with the Joneses.
Yeah, don't compare yourself to
Don't
others.
compare yourself.
And that's honestly a big one.
I think, find where you're happy in your life. If you're happy coming home, not stressing about work, not stressing about deadline, you love your family, you know what I mean? There's nothing greater than that.
Yeah.
There really isn't. You don't have to be a CEO of a company. You don't have, you could be a leader in so many different ways. Be the leader of your family. Make the right choices for your family, make the right decisions for your wife, for your children, be a good father, be a good spouse. Leadership is just so many different things. Making the hard decisions. Yes, we can do this. No, we can do this. Is now the right time to take a vacation, buy a car, with your friends. How many times do your friends, maybe not at the gym, maybe not in the sports, how many times does your friend need you to be the leader and just give them good solid advice hey dude, you know what you're doing right now is probably not a good idea. Maybe what you're doing right now, maybe you need to think about it from another perspective. Be a leader, be the leader of your life. For some reason that just, for me, be the leader of your life. Are you dating the right person? Are you making the right decisions? What are you doing in your life? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Leadership encompasses so many different things. It doesn't have to encompass work. It does, it could just be, it's just such a big issue. And set your goals, set your long-term goals. That's got to be paramount, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to be in the same place you are in 5 years? And if you do, great. Be happy. Don't compare yourself. If you're happy where you're at, great. Man, because it's hard to find that kind of happiness.
Yeah.
And when you're a happy person, when you're a happy husband, when you're a happy father, the people around you are happy, your friends are happy. It's just it just bleeds into so many different areas.
It does.
It's not just about being a happy leader at work. Be the leader of your life, and I've said this saying so many times. I heard it on Joe Rogan, mm-hmm. and I love it. Be the hero of your own story. Be that leader. Be your hero to yourself, to your loved ones. And if you're having a bad day, don't bring that shit home.
Well, in reality, though, you should be the main character in your own book.
Dude, and you know me.
I mean,
Jeanette,
be the main character.
let me tell you this. You're saying be the main character
in your own book. Be the one who actually succeeds at the end. Finds it together.
I say this
Gets
thing.
It together.
I say this saying so many times. That youth is wasted on the young. God, I wish I knew so much shit when I was younger. But you know what? As I've gotten older, I've taken control of shit. I am my lead character. I am my own hero. And you know what? Somebody in a nice car, somebody with some bling bling, dressed nice, they may try to knock me down. And you know, it's cool. If you're successful, kudos to you, man. You made it.
Yeah.
You're not gonna knock me down because you know what? I'm a legit G. I got this shit. I know in my life I'm awesome. I know to my friends I'm awesome for them. And you know, I'm doing the things I want to because I'm mind leader.
Yeah.
And in my job, in my role, I'm going to try to give the best I can. And I've had some hard lessons. Don't take yourself so serious, right?
Yeah, you have
Don't
to.
compare yourself.
Yeah.
And you know, and people have pointed that out. People have very blatantly pointed that out to me. But you know what? Yeah, you're right. And being a happy person, loving life, appreciating life, and leading my own life, I've made some great friends now. My life is exciting. It's where I want to do. I'm doing the things I want to do. I love the people in my life. And I think that all encompasses what a leader should be. I don't know.
I like it.
And sending dick pics.
Don't take yourself too serious.
Like, please don't laugh when you get this.
Please don't laugh when you get it.
It's pretty. It's pretty.
Oh my God.
You know, one thing, and just to wrap it around on this, one thing, so we talked about the dolphins. People, slaughtering dolphins for cultural reasons, and I can't knock people. I can't knock cultural reasons, but I think about, I've gotten to a point where I think about the larger world. And I think about, and we've talked about this, what am I doing to leave this world in a better place, right? And I think that's why the dolphins spoke to me, because I think I talked about, I love the ocean.
Yeah.
From San Diego, I love the Pacific. Like, the Pacific Ocean to me is just beautiful. It's amazing. There's tons of life. And when I saw the thing about dolphins being slaughtered, it was like, fuck. Like, what the hell? And then, then I started thinking about the garbage islands that form in the middle of the ocean. And I think to myself, what am I doing for the bigger picture? How many times do we say, like, what are we doing to make a change in the world? Be a good leader to your family. Do the right things to your family. But how often do you think, what am I doing for the world, for the future? I think that has to be rolled into being a good leader, being the hero, being the what did you say, the star of your own story?
You have to be the lead character in your own.
Lead character.
Yeah, be the star in your own story.
It's easy to look at life like this.
Yeah, I mean, look at it as a chapter. If you're having a hard time in your life right now, look at it as like, yeah, that was like my low point, or that was a tough time, but this is how I overcame it. Like, think about how you can win in your life.
I'm a winner.
Let's win. I want to win.
I want to win. Yay. But I think about that a lot. And for some reason, I think about that and I see those people that clean the beaches and they're trying to come up with ideas about plastic and oil spills. And I think, God, that's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
And I know I'm in the middle of the desert, in the middle of the United States, love where I'm at and all that. But what am I doing? Definitely, I don't feel like we're doing enough. We're not being stewards. And if you're a good person, if you're a good leader, if you're a good father, husband, I think that's great. And you know what? And if you're happy with that, cool. I'm never gonna knock anybody for that. If you're a good person in that sense, you're doing great. But at the same time, for myself, sometimes I think, what more am I not doing?
Yeah.
You hear about that Chinese guy that planted like 1,000 trees, and you know what I mean? There's a story about a blind Chinese man, and his friend puts a hole in the ground, and he puts a tree in the hole, and there's somebody like in Asia somewhere, he planted, over the course of his life, he's planted trees, and he's planted like thousands of acres worth of trees, and there's a forest now. How many times have you done something like that?
God, I'm gonna.
Do you know what I mean?
I kill all my plants. I'm just kidding. maybe my contribution.
You just killed it.
No, but I totally get what you're saying. That's a great analogy. Whether it's trees,
but it wraps around though.
Doing something else.
It wraps around though, because if you're not setting goals, if you can't take care of yourself, you can't take care of your loved ones, you can't take care of the larger picture. You've got to set goals. You got to work hard. You got to become a good person. Be a leader. Be the hero of your own story. Be your lead character, because at some point you want to do more. And if you're not setting yourself up, you're not going to set yourself up to make those changes later in life.
That's true.
Right?
Absolutely.
I don't know.
I love it.
If you like it, I don't know. I was gonna say if you like it, I love it, but you said love it. You killed it.
Dang it.
Jeanette, my glass of scotch is empty.
I know.
Dude, I love that Copper Dog. Oh,
all
God
right.
bless it. Well, any final thoughts?
No, I really feel like, with this podcast, and I love the way we start off, we talk about it.
Oh, God.
I know, I love it. Oh. But you know what, I really like...
I'm going to leave it in. I'm going to leave it all in. I'm going to leave it in, Jeanette.
Today's message was, I honestly love it.
That was a good message.
It totally was, and it's...
And it's not the end, though.
No.
I think we just scratched the surface, because there's so much more to talk about. And one of my viewers said that our message besides alcohol was like this motivational stuff, being good people. Yeah.
But I think it's super important because it's something that I'm embracing in my life. There's definitely been a shift in my life.
Yeah.
And and do I wake up with the same struggles everybody does? Of course.
Right.
Everybody does, but you have to find something that is going to inspire you to help you be better. And we're not perfect people, but if you continue to try and make
Jeanette, be perfect.
No.
Be perfect.
I'm gonna accept myself. Wait, what's that? Don't compare myself to others. I can compare myself to anyone.
Ay Dios.
I'm an original. So.
For our bilingual listeners, ay Dios mi vida.
Ay Dios mi vida. I love it though. The scotch is empty.
Scotch is empty. Your glass is empty.
Melted. I think it's time.
It's time, dude. It's a wrap. Good
awesome.
show. Yeah,
Thank you.
Definitely. Thank you. And we'll see you next time.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Hopefully we'll have our first guest.
Dang it. Oh, how fun.
We're growing. And next time is episode 10.
Dude, episode
and
10.
For anybody that's still listening, we're on Spotify now. So iTunes and Spotify. Dude, we're big kids now.
We're big.
We're big. Dude, you have a good night.
All right. Good night.
Laters.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. That was cool.